She's very disciplined, perseverance, and her performance are excellent. National team, Ken, inspiring others to live healthier and stronger life. We would like to welcome DCA Tiffany Hew.
OK， 大家可以 live 的这个 section，OK？
Test. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction.
Hello, sound system.
The sound is okay? Yeah? Okay. I think I need to stand at the side. Alright. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Tiffany, and this is me. Okay, first slide. Thank you. So, a little bit on my background. I used to be an ex-national gymnast. I was also first runner-up of Miss Astro in 2007, and then I moved on to do some modeling and TV hosting. And I was a rhythmic gymnastic coach for more than 20 years. Yeah, so I opened my own academy. I'm a principal of Elite Dance Academy, and I have 3 kids. So that's a little bit of background on me. So how did I meet with BE? Okay, it was actually during MCO. Okay, my dad was a stroke patient. He has a 3-time stroke, internal bleeding. So he was already considered a very high, potential patient for COVID. So, but then at that time, unfortunately, we did not know how he was infected with the eating flesh bacteria called Fournier gangrene. So we were very scared at that time. Alright, so and we didn't know what to do about it because I was calling my mentor, Dr. Lu. I said, my dad said complain pain, and I bring him to the clinic. Then the doctor check. He wrote on the paper, please send your father to the emergency now. Then I Google search, what is that? Looks very scary. Immediately I called Dr. Lu, what is this? He said, oh, your father needs a lot of Shiruto. Then I was like, at that time I was just a consumer, a happy consumer. I was just buying Shiruto on a regular basis. So we sent my dad to the hospital, and then we couldn't contact the doctors and we were not allowed to visit because it was MCO time. And then the doctor called and said, Lisa, your dad very serious, he needs a lot of surgery. Okay, so if the surgery cannot cut away the infected part, we need to keep having surgeries, multiple surgeries. So very panicked, and the worst part is he got no medical time. Yes, so the financial burden was real. And at the same time, my academy revenue dropped up to 70% because it is very tough for us to teach gymnastics online. So a lot of my students dropped out during at that time. So it actually made me think, what else can I do during this crisis period? Yeah, what else can I do? So I was looking for something that I don't need to fork out a lot of capital. Yeah, that I can do on my free time and at the same time can help my family. So I was just looking for something. Then I asked my upline, Shiruto important for my dad. How can I get it for free? That was my first question. So because they have been asking me to look into the business for 2 years, I refused. I didn't want to look into the business. I just be a happy customer. But this incident taught me something that, crisis, you cannot predict. You won't know when crisis will come. So everybody needs a plan B. Yeah, so that's when I looked into the BE marketing plan and just trying part-time, try first. And I didn't know whether I was going to make it or not. So try, and then we did a lot of Zoom parties, and then, hey, suddenly that month I become ambassador. And then my mentor said, hey, you log in for your Osaka already, Osaka, what's that? I don't know lah. I said, impossible lah. I just want to get free products for my dad. So I didn't believe that I could actually fight for free trips. Although I know there is, and I always envy. I always envy people who can fight and go for free trips. I was like, okay, not for me lah. Okay, so, but with the encouragement from my mentor, Catherine, and Dr. Lu, Rex, and Chin Yin, the owner of the business owner today, and also mentor Christine. So then, somehow or other, after 5 months, I qualified for my first trip to Osaka. And then I was like, unbelievable. I didn't believe that I could do that. But what helped me is because BE has a very good support system, which I find it very helpful, because in my traditional business, you know, as a business owner, everything you have to think on your own. There is no support. There's no way that your competitors will tell you how to run your academy better. So I find it very heartwarming here in BE. And that is why I stayed on. Okay, next slide. Okay, so the changing point in my BE journey is when, you know, all our mentors, they were saying, okay, go for social media. You must start your social media. I'm not a very social media person. I usually do social media just to post a little bit on my kids' lifestyle, just not very active. Then when, you know, everybody was saying, okay, you should go TikTok, you should go Facebook Live and things like that. You know, the first time when I want to click the start live button, I was like, you cannot run. Even though I have been hosting before, but I was quite reluctant. So then I started, so just one day, one video at a time. And then didn't know whether it would work or not. But then just one of the video, this one where one of the product, one of my customer, her mother has a heart block. And then she took our refill. Then within just one box, then she said, when she went back to the doctor, she don't need to do the 通波仔 anymore. So it went viral. This video went viral overnight. You know, then I was like, wow. Then I started to get a lot of PMs. I started to connect with a lot of strangers, which I didn't expect this to happen. Yeah. So throughout this journey, I connected with a lot of strangers, and I built 4 ambassadors through TikTok strangers. And one of them, yeah, is this Kak Nora. I wanted to tell you about her story. She's a cancer patient. She's a breast cancer stage 3. So she found me through TikTok. And then why? It's because her oncologist actually asked her to try Shiuto. Yeah, so she scroll. Then she said, hey, this Muka China, right? I think she won't ask me to do the business. I just buy the product from her. So she contacted me, and then she bought the product, she tried, and she had amazing recovery within just a few days. She told me within 4 days, you know, when she was doing chemo, her nails all turned black. And then she was very lethargic, she cannot get up from the bed. Within just 4 days using our products, her nails turned white. And then she said she could get up from bed, and all her people around her, she's staying in a mosque area, all the neighbors, she's like, amazing. So, by looking at her testimonial, people started to ask, hey, what are you taking? Can you share with me? So, by just sharing like that, she'll also become ambassador. And then the people who bought from her, because she gave them a lot of blessings, she shared through her own testimony. And then they also got better. So within just 4 months, she qualified a ticket to Beijing. And she built her daughter to become an ambassador. So I think, you know, and then she was telling me in Beijing, you say, Tiffany, really, I'm really thankful to you for introducing this, the products and the business to me. Because she said, initially I choose you because I don't want to do the business. I know other people should ask me to do. I think I'm me, Malay, Chinese, you won't ask me to do lah. But she don't know, actually I will ask her to do lah. So then after that she qualified for one ticket. She said, it really changed my life. Because I gave up hope when I had cancer. I thought my life would just be like that. She's 77 years old. 77 years old. Yeah, and then she said, I really gave up. I tried so many things, but I still cannot get better. So, but with BE products and the system and the, you know, and our mentorship, she's able at 77 years old, a cancer survivor, also be able to qualify and get a free trip through BE system. So to me, I think that is something very amazing. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so what keeps me going is actually just sincere sharing knowledge to help others. Alright, and to me, BE is a place that I really, a community that I can learn to grow. And also, you see when like Nora's case, it is happiness that money cannot buy. Yeah, to me, I feel that is very meaningful and that is what keeps me going. And also, most of the time, why we choose this platform is also because of the system that is duplicable. In my profession, it's very hard to duplicate. It's very hard to create another coach who is experienced as me to continue to do my work. So at the end of the day, I'm always very tired. Yeah, so I'm looking for something that is sustainable long term, that we can actually do it, duplicate and then grow in the future. And it's a very positive environment, and something that I really like the most is the travel for free. Next slide. So throughout BE, from my first trip to Osaka in 2022, so I have traveled now, the 10th trip, we are flying in November to Korea. Yeah, so I mean, these are just destinations. Throughout this journey, if you ask me, of course there are hardship, coming out from your comfort zone, doing something extra, you get extra tired. When I first started doing social media, I start shooting my video at 12 a.m. After I put all my kids to sleep, I wake up, I make up, and then I started doing my videos. If you ask me whether is it worth it, yes. Tired? Yes, but definitely worth it. Next. So change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. Thank you very much.